Hey everyone, it's Hindash and this is Timmy. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is kind of a video that I do every summer because I think it's so important and it really just makes your skin look beautiful if you don't want to wear a lot of makeup. And it's basically creating a flawless base with powder foundation and you pair it with a bit of concealer and it just looks very fresh and natural. So this is kind of my updated take and it's a full matte look, which I know a lot of you guys enjoy and I love a full matte face. And you can see the look here on the beautiful Susha, who is so stunning. And I kind of wanted to pair this look with a cat eye because I thought, why not? Otherwise, it would be a bit too simple, but obviously you can do whatever you want with the eyes. And if you guys are interested in the cat eye, I will be doing a separate video that goes kind of in depth on the liner, which is very thin and unlike the thicker liners that I usually do. So yeah, if you want to see how to do this fresh matte summer makeup, then please keep watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye. Alright, so this is the beautiful Susha and we are going to be going for this really fresh, fully matte look. You guys know I love a matte look as well, which is perfect for summer. And to start off, I'm going to be taking the Fenty Beauty What It Do Makeup Refreshing Spray just to kind of freshen her up and get her skin ready for skincare. And for serum, I'm going to be going in with the 111 Skin Rose Gold Radiance Booster and I'm going to be applying that all over the skin and just really massaging it in. It's super thin, it feels like water, so it's just going to sink into the skin. For moisturizer, I'm going to be taking the Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whipped Cream. And this is such a nice moisturizer. It really just nourishes the skin and makes it feel so soft and works great as a makeup primer and base. And that's kind of what I look for in moisturizers before I do makeup. I don't want them to do a lot of crazy things. I just want them to feel very nourishing and make the skin feel soft and just comforted. And of course, taking that down the neck. For an eye cream, I'm going to be taking the Shiseido Ultimune Eye Power Infusing Eye Concentrate. And I'm going to be tapping that very gently underneath the eyes. Now, I know this look kind of revolves around powder foundation and how to make that work, but I think a very crucial step for that is using a concealer very strategically around your face. And I'm going to be taking the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. And what I love to do is take this at the back of your hand or on a palette, and that way you kind of use less product because you're going to be taking it from the brush and applying it to the areas where you need it. You're not going to take the concealer and just put it everywhere where you would normally do because that's kind of what we're trained to do. Even on good days, even when your skin doesn't need it, you just automatically go underneath your eyes, around the nose, under the chin, and all the areas. Where in reality, your skin is kind of changing every day. So kind of look at your skin and adapt to the situation. I know it takes more time. But if you do this, and by taking this with a brush, it's going to pick up less product. It's going to diffuse it very beautifully. And you are going to end up with a much lighter finish and more of a natural base. And if you need to spot conceal, I'm going to be taking the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, one of my all-time favorites. And this is great because it's more of a matte finish and it's a thicker consistency. So this is great to kind of pinpoint any discoloration or acne that you have. Again, diffusing it and patting it on with the brush so you get a very seamless finish. After you're kind of happy with the concealing and you're ready to move on to powder, I'm going to be taking the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Custom Finish Powder Foundation. And this is in the shade 160 Shell. And what I think is very important in this step is to find the right undertone of the powder, and that way it's just going to look like skin. And what I love about this powder is that it's very, very thin and it's not going to just mask your face with coverage. It's going to be very luminous but matte and it just looks so good. And what I love to do is I like to tap it into the skin. You can use a bigger brush. I'm just using a smaller brush because I felt like it. But you can definitely go for a bigger brush and just tap it and press it into the skin. And as you can see, it just gives you that matte veil that's very perfected. It kind of looks like velvet. For an eyeshadow base, I'm taking one of my all-time favorites. This is the MAC Lay and Low Paint Pot and just applying that on the eyelids. And what this is going to do is it's going to neutralize the eye area and it's going to give it that nice peachy glow and a peachy base for eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, I'm taking the Shiseido Essentialist Eye Palette in Koto Street Vintage No. 5. And I basically want to go for very neutral colors to kind of sculpt the eye. I don't want to add a lot of color. I just want to make it contoured and give it depth. And starting with that cream shade, I'm going to be putting it on the eyelid and underneath the brow bone to highlight and bring forward those areas. And taking that taupey contoured gray color, I'm going to be putting that in the crease and it's just going to give us that illusion of a shadow and depth. So her eye sockets are going to look very deep, and I want that contrast with the light lids and the light brow bone. I feel like when I'm going for a full matte eye look, I really want to give it contour and depth and kind of enhance everything. Of course, you can go much simpler with this, but I mean, why not? So diffusing that into the crease, and don't be afraid to take it out and wing it out. That's really going to pull your eye. And I'm going up into the brow bone as well, just to give it more depth. From that palette, I'm taking that warmer brown and putting it underneath the eyes, because I feel like if I put the contour taupey gray, it's just going to look like she has a bit of dark circles. So this warm brown is really going to look beautiful. Moving on to liner, the first liner that I'm going to use is the Haus Labs Eyeliner in Punk. And I'm going to be tracing a very thin liner. I'm going to go into a more in-depth video about this. I've actually shot this twice. I did another one that's zoomed in where I just talk you through the liner, but I'm going for a very winged out, accentuated liner that's thin. And to get even more detailed, I'm taking the Shiseido Arc Liner Ink in black. And that brush tip is so tiny, so I'm just going to be winging it out even further and kind of perfecting all the edges and making everything very smooth and sharp. And this is perfect for an inner corner liner. If you guys struggle with getting that inner corner nice and sharp, this is so tiny, it's going to do the trick, and it's so easy to use. So doing the same thing on the other eye and perfecting that. Another really good trick is taking a brush with a bit of micellar water and just running it through the edges. That way it's going to smooth out that black without really removing it, because you're just going over the edges. So basically it's going to act like it's trying to remove it, so you can really wing that liner into a nice diffused blend. To warm up her face, I'm taking a darker shade of foundation. This is in 340 Oak, and I'm going to be using that kind of where I would contour and bronze. And this is just going to give us more shape and dimension. So on the cheekbones, on the jawline, the forehead, and of course you're even adding more subtle coverage to these areas and making it even look more perfected. And don't forget the neck, because you want to unify everything. If you love to contour, I'm going to be using a bit of contour. This is the NARS Talia Contour Powder. And again, going into these areas where I want to accentuate even more. And she has such beautiful cheekbones, and I kind of want to accentuate them even more, because when I put blush, it's going to look so pretty. And going underneath the nose and on top of the nose bridge, which is what I love to do when I contour. For mascara, I'm taking the Shiseido Imperial Lash Mascara and just running that through her lashes. She's just going to get in there. And the lower lashes as well. And for individuals, I always use Ardell individuals in medium or long, but this time I'm using medium all throughout, but concentrating it on the outer corner to give her even more of a lift and to accentuate that shape even more. I'm taking a brown liner. This is the Pat McGrath in the shade Black Coffee. And I'm putting that on the waterline on top just to kind of minimize that gap where the black ends. And taking a bit of that contour powder that I used earlier into the socket as well to give it a bit more of a dimension. Just to diffuse everything out and blend everything in. And I really like to melt all the colors that are throughout the face. And I'm just using that to kind of unify the entire face. Since I've used these colors on her face, I want to introduce them to the eyes as well. And it's just going to help me blend everything even more. For blush, I'm taking the Shiseido Minimalist Whipped Powder Blush in the shade number 7. And this is a moussey formula. You guys know I love cream blush, and I'm down for this formula. It's so good. So I'm taking that on the cheeks, on the bridge of the nose, a bit on the forehead, anywhere where I kind of want that very healthy look. And I love going over everything with a powder, so I'm taking the Laura Mercier blush in the shade Chai. And it's such a perfect blush color if you don't like blush and you're on the fair medium side. This is just going to give you a wash of healthy glow. And it's matte. For lip liner, I'm taking the MAC Boldly Bare Lip Pencil. I'm going to be lining her lips. She has beautiful lips, so I'm just going to be tracing that shape and filling them in very lightly. And because I'm going for a fully matte look, I still don't want to go for that kind of traditional liquid lipstick, full-on heavy matte lips, which I feel doesn't look really good on nudes. I feel like it works for reds. I love a full matte red liquid lipstick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do very thin layers, starting with the lip liner, and then I'm going to be taking the Nude Sticks Magnetic Lip Plush Paints in Bahama Mama. And this is so beautiful. It just gives you a wash of kind of matte, diffused, sheer color. And this is going to kind of act as my stain underneath. And on top of that, I'm going to define the edges a bit more with the MAC Spice lip pencil. I know I use 2 lip pencils, but you can just use one. You can start off with Spice if it matches your skin tone. And then to top it all off, I'm taking the Shiseido Modern Matte Powder Lipstick in Nude Streak, number 503. And I'm going to be using that with a brush again because I'm going for that very luminous but matte, weightless lip color. And the result just looks so, so good. I love this lip combo. It's very peachy, it's very nude, but it still has life. I'm brushing over her brows with the Urban Decay Brow Finish Gel in Ozone, which is a clear brow gel. And she has beautiful brows, so I'm just brushing them up and tidying them and just seeing where there would be any sparse areas for me to fill. And to fill them lightly, I'm going in with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4.5, just on the edges. And again, setting everything with that Fenty Beauty What It Do spray. And this is the full look. You guys, it's so easy to do if you're just running through it. It's a beautiful, matte, everyday look. You can obviously change the eyes. You can change a few things, but it's perfect. Try it out. Let me know what you think. You're just going to look very radiant and matte and flawless. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and let me know what you think in the comments below. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.